This is Bishop Dr. Truman Burst. Master Herbalist, coming to you from Good Shepherd Ministries. All right, and we're going forward again. And Crystal, your mic isn't muted, and if you have anything to comment on as we go along here, jump right in. Otherwise, I'm going to talk about what Sister Kashakya alluded to. Okay, I don't hear anything from Crystal. So, fiber.
Not so far anyway.
Okay, fiber. She talked about fiber, and I've got this great big book here called Prescriptions for Nutritional Healing in its 5th edition, and I use that quite a bit. So and you know, you can get it on Amazon or someplace like that, probably for less than $20, and it's got almost 900 pages. So okay, I'm into this big book, and it tells us that fiber is found in many foods, and fiber helps to lower blood cholesterol levels, and it stabilizes blood sugar levels, and it helps to prevent colon cancer, constipation, hemorrhoids, obesity, and many other disorders. Fiber is also good for removing certain toxic metals from the body, because the refining process has removed much of the natural fiber from our foods. The typical American diet is lacking in fiber. There are 7 basic classifications of fiber: bran, cellulose, gum, hemicellulose, lignin, mucilages, and pectin. Now, each form has its own function, and it's best to rotate among several different supplemental fiber sources. Start with small amounts and gradually increase your intake until your stools are the proper consistency. And what is the proper consistency? It's that when you flush the toilet, every bowel movement breaks up in a cloud. That means the sewer system of the body is getting things through there fast enough. When the bowel movement is well formed, that means you are reabsorbing what you're trying to get rid of. So try to keep those bowel movements soft enough to break up in a cloud. Now, fiber, well, also be aware that while today's average diet is lacking in fiber, consuming excessive amounts may decrease the absorption of zinc, iron, and calcium. So you don't want excessive amounts of fiber, because you're going to lose your zinc, your iron, and your calcium, and you really need those. Always take supplemental fiber separately from other medications or supplements. Otherwise, it can lessen their strength and effectiveness. In addition to using a fiber supplement, you should make sure to get fiber through your diet. Make sure your diet contains high fiber foods like whole grain cereals and flours and brown rice. Agar, made from the algae species Gelidium, also called Dai Choi Go, all kinds of bran, fresh fruit, dried prunes, nuts, seeds, especially flax seeds, and beans and lentils and peas and fresh raw vegetables. and eat several of these kinds of foods daily. And when eating organic produce, leave the skin on the apples and the potatoes. And you know, you could coat chicken in, you know, skinless chicken. You can coat it in corn bran or oats for baking, you know, and also you can, you can add extra bran to cereals and breads, and unsalted, unbuttered popcorn is also an excellent, excellent for added fiber. So that's a little bit about fiber. You know, we could go into it in detail, bran gums and mucilages and detail cellulose and hemicellulose and lignin and pectin. We can detail each one of those, but I thought we would just kind of touch on it briefly and give you a kind of but that's where to get that. A lot of great information is in this book, and they ought to send me a donation for publicizing their book. They sold 8 million copies. I mean, my goodness, I know they could afford a donation. Okay, anyway, I thought I'd mention that. So, next thing is, let's get back to, I'm having fun with this book. It's the Creator's Plan for Optimal Health and Miracle Food Cures. And so when we're talking about that book, well, we're talking about Miracle Food Cures from the Bible. Okay, so this is a cool book. Let me see if I can get it back here where you can actually see. It's probably upside down or something here. You know, it seems to be on my screen. I'm going to turn it this way. Isn't that funny? It came out the other way. But anyway, it's Miracle Foods from the Bible. Cool. Yeah. How about that? How that does that? Wow. I don't know how it did that. Interesting. Anyway, Miracle Foods from the Bible. I'm having a by Reese Dubin. I think you'd enjoy this book. I am, and I'm going to share it with you because it may not even be available anymore. I get these books and I hold on to them for decades. But this book outlines a lot of really tremendous information about herbs, natural remedies from the Bible. And so as I go through it here, I'm going to share this information with you until we get someone who enters the room and has a question. And so let's kind of get started here. You know, a healing for your flesh and a refreshment for your body. And that's Proverbs 3:8. And what is the Bible telling us when it mentions certain foods again and again? Now, I believe the message is clear. These Bible healing foods, well, use them, and many of your problems will vanish. And what's more, in these pages of this book here, they're going to present some strong scientific evidence that the Bible does indeed contain miracle food cures for every ailment imaginable. We're talking about cataracts, gallstones, bleeding gums, pleurisy, epilepsy, sciatica, stomach and intestinal problems, skin problems, vaginal infection, arthritis, infertility, herpes, even medicines that thousands of years later fight AIDS. This is what we're going to talk about here in this book, Miracle Food Cures from the Bible. So as we go on here, let's get right on into it. And it starts out with news-breaking discoveries are in scriptures written 3,000 years ago. The Bible is amazingly up to date. For example, Viagra may be making headlines now, But the book of Daniel reveals a Bible food that reportedly has the same effect. In addition, 16 ounces of this Bible food contain enough of the chemical used to treat Parkinson's disease and to be therapeutically active in early stages of Parkinson's disease. It treats it. So we're going to talk about that. And for more details on that, let's pursue that. Okay, that's listed over here on page 258. And let's go take a look at just what they are talking about. 258. And I'm almost there. This is what, okay. So as it's talking about here, a Bible food aphrodisiac and a remedy for Parkinson's from the book of Daniel. The clear message of the Bible is that beans are a miracle source of health. Esau was willing to sell his birthright for a bowl of pottage lentil soup, and he did. And as it says in Genesis 25:30-34, well, it tells us that, and Esau said to Jacob, "Feed me, I pray thee, with that red pottage, for I am faint." And Jacob said, "Sell me this day thy birthright." And Esau said, "Behold, I am at the point to die." And he sold his birthright unto Jacob. Then Jacob gave Esau bread and pottage of lentils. Genesis 25:30-34. Now, Daniel refused to eat the king's meat, but instead asked only for pulse to eat and water to drink. Pulse in biblical days referred to broad beans, such as fava beans and lentils. And Daniel knew that the best way to maintain a clear mind and a strong body was to steer clear of the king's rich food and drink. And Daniel proposed in his heart that he would not defile himself with a portion of the king's meat, but instead asked, "Give us pulse to eat and water to drink." And at the end of 10 days, their countenance appeared fairer and fatter in flesh than all the children which did eat the portion of the king's meat. Daniel 1:8. You see, beans reduce the rise in blood sugar after meals and delay the drop in blood sugar later on, which would certainly guarantee a clearer mind. And beans contain plant estrogens. They also contain PIs, protease inhibitors, that interfere with cancer-producing enzymes. And PIs help to prevent the growth of tumor cells, according to medical anthropologist John Heinerman. I did a radio broadcast with John some years back, and read all of his books. A great anthropologist or herbalist. Anyway, PIs, the protease inhibitors, prevent radiation-induced cancer and enhance tissue resistance to invasion by tumor cells. If people consume adequate amounts of PIs in the form of beans and grains, they can then be protected against cancer at a variety of sites. Beans also reduce cholesterol. 1.5 cups of dried lentils or kidney beans a day can lower total cholesterol by 19% due to their lecithin and fiber content. The American Journal of Clinical Nutrition for October 1983 cites studies that show beans can definitely lower serum cholesterol and triglyceride levels in the body substantially. So much so that they should be eaten more frequently to keep to keep too much fat from accumulating in the blood. Fava beans are our best food source for L-DOPA, the drug used for Parkinson's disease to control trembling and rigidity. And L-DOPA is used by the brain to make a chemical called dopamine. While no one is suggesting that the fava beans can replace a sufferer's current medication, they might prove helpful in the early mild stages of this disease if your doctor approves. And if he doesn't, get a second opinion. Anyway, L-DOPA, which is abundant in fava beans, also stimulates strong, healthy erections in men. Fava beans, reportedly 8 to 16 ounces of fava beans might be just enough to relieve male potency problems. Amazingly, fava bean sprouts contain 10 times as much L-DOPA as unsprouted ones. So you might want to look into sprouting, which we can do at some point and talk more about sprouting and how to do that. 10 times more L-DOPA in fava bean sprouts. Fava beans, all beans, in fact, are rich in lecithin and choline, which increase concentrations of acetylcholine in the brain and improve memory in laboratory animals. And people with Alzheimer's are often lacking in acetylcholine, which plays a key role in thinking and reasoning. Researchers have tried feeding high choline, high lecithin foods to people with Alzheimer's with initially encouraging results. And black beans, black bean juice is used in Japan to correct constipation caused by eating too much white bread and refined foods and to calm hyperactive children, according to John Heinerman. And to make this black bean juice, you take two tablespoons of cleaned black soybeans, which are then, and I don't believe in soybeans at all, so because they mess up the estrogen balance. But anyway, he goes on here to I'm still going to cite how they are used, although I do not use soybeans or soy products, except lecithin. That is a safe and a good thing. But soybeans, I'm going to go back again here. 2 tablespoons of clean black soybeans are boiled in 2 quarts of water for 10 minutes, then simmered until just 1 quart of water remains. Some kelp is added to season before the broth is strained. And the dose, 1 cup of juice 3 times a day. As previously mentioned, cancer treatment with Laetrile is illegal in the United States, but many people still eat small amounts of foods that contain it as a safeguard against cancer or as informal, unofficial therapy for existing tumors they may have along with standard medical care. They have to say that, don't they? And foods rich in Laetrile, like nitrosides, include many legumes, such as kidney beans, chickpeas, and lentils. Mung beans, mung bean sprouts supply especially large amounts of nitrosides. And legume grains are highest in nitrosides and the content when they are in the sprouting stage. And that's why sprouts are so important, because they can yield significantly more of the nutrients that you're looking for if you sprout grain or sprout beans or lentils and so forth. Yes. So anyway, I wanted to share that this book and some of the information that's coming through there, because that's very interesting. And as we go on here, as we're looking for people who have a question, if you have a question, then let me know. I'll take a break and drink some water, and you can ask your question.
I have one, Dr. Truman.
Okay.
This is aside from that. I was just speaking with someone today, one of my friends, about hummus, and I told her I hadn't had any before, and she was just telling me how she didn't like it. But her mom ate it, and I just did a little research, and it looks like it's full of good stuff. I was just going to get your opinion on hummus, and I mean, what are the benefits of it if it is good for you?
Yeah, hummus. Okay. All right, we're going to talk about hummus. Hummus. Well, not to be confused with humus, but hummus is it's a Levantine. It's Arabic. They call it hummus or hummus, and it's Levantine and Egyptian food that you dip or spread, and it's made from cooked, mashed chickpeas blended with tahini, which is sesame seeds, and oil, and lemon juice, and salt, and garlic. And today it is popular throughout the Middle East, including Turkey, North Africa, including Morocco, and in the Middle East, Eastern cuisine. Well, you'll find hummus in Eastern cuisine around the globe. So, hummus. Well, let's go take a look a little bit more about hummus, okay? Let's see if we can find some hummus. Okay. Let's look at hummus health benefits, and some of the most interesting health benefits for hummus would be. Okay, hold on. I'm almost there. It can help you keep regular. Okay, that's one of the things it will do, thanks to its high fiber content. Right on. That's right in our theme today. Fiber. Thanks to its high fiber content, it helps to keep you regular, and it helps your digestive tract. It's an effective and tasty way to get more fiber into your diet, and fiber itself has other health benefits, like helping to prevent heart disease, for instance. And it can help improve your bone, muscle, skin, and blood health. Hummus has a high amount of protein, and the protein is an essential building block in bone, muscle, and skin, and blood health. So you can get you can get this from meat, but vegetarians are usually looking for all sorts of ways to get high quality protein, and hummus is a good high quality protein. Also, hummus can help lower your cholesterol, because fiber can help lower your cholesterol. And hummus, well, it's made from chickpeas, like we said, which are better known as garbanzo beans, also another name, garbanzo beans or hummus or chickpeas. And these beans, in general, have nutrients in them that can help lower your cholesterol. And of course, if avoiding heart disease is a priority, You may want to make your own your own at home, because the grocery store brands tend to have too much salt in them, too much sodium. So it can, and hummus, it can also help prevent cancer. Another common health benefit of hummus, these beans in general, well, beans in general, are their cancer preventing properties. Beans have three compounds: saponins, protease inhibitors, and phytic acid, that have shown in tests to guard cells from the kind of damage that can cause cancer. So it can also help you to lose weight, because hummus is traditionally made with sesame seed butter. That's, tahini, which contains a fair amount of monounsaturated fats. And these have their own set of health benefits, but among them is the ability to help to promote weight loss and reduce belly fat. This is because monosaturated fat is a popular substitute for trans fats and polyunsaturated fats, which cause weight gain and increase, increase belly fat. Well, and just a couple more here. It can help your bones get stronger, because both chickpeas and tahini also contain calcium, which, as we all know, helps contribute to good bone health. This is especially important for women who are reaching their golden years, as their bones need calcium to avoid osteoporosis. Oh, and also it can help alleviate anemia. Chickpeas and tahini are also good sources of iron, which helps deliver oxygen to red blood cells. And when you have a deficiency in iron, you get, you can get anemia, and thus assuming things with iron will help relieve the deficiency, of course, and especially when it's natural iron. No, give me this one I'm looking for here. Okay. And it can be a good substitute for unhealthy foods. There are some great health benefits of hummus, but it can also help you to avoid the negative health effects of other foods. For instance, you can use hummus as a substitute for mayonnaise, which is essentially just eggs and fat. You can also mix it with broth or water until it's thin enough to be used as a salad dressing. You can even use it as a dip for raw veggies instead of ranch dressing or some of these other dressings. So hummus is a healthier alternative to those kinds of things, and it can help balance your blood sugar levels, because thanks to the nutrients in hummus, you can eat it to help control your blood sugar levels. Obviously, obviously, it's not a cure for. Looks like we had somebody join us here in Uber conference, and I need to mute their mic, I think. Okay, welcome, someone there in 817. Thanks for joining us. We're talking about the benefits of hummus right now, and we're almost finished with that. We take questions about natural remedies and about health. We don't prescribe, we don't diagnose, we don't do that, but we talk about the historical and traditional uses of natural remedies. So, last thing, chickpeas are high in antioxidants, and these chickpeas that are high in antioxidants, well, hummus, it doesn't take a doctor to know that antioxidants are good for you, and chickpeas have a lot of them. And getting plenty of antioxidants helps reduce the antioxidant damage in our bodies. So this is some of the benefits of and we've had some other people join us here. Welcome to Discoveries in Health, and we'll be taking questions in a moment. But as for now, please mute your microphone so that we don't get any echoes throughout the system. So please mute your microphone as you join us, and then we'll take a break here after we talk a little bit more about the value of something called hummus, which is simply chickpeas. They're high in antioxidants, which contribute to your overall good health. Okay, so anyway, it's great for allergies too. Hummus is gluten-free, nut-free, and dairy-free. So if you have allergies, you might be happy to know that hummus is still something you can eat freely, since it can be wrapped up into so many different flavors, and you can use it to replace a lot of stuff that you may be allergic to, and thus reduce the risk of allergens. So anyway, if you're not sold on hummus, there's even more information about it. But you can add it to fruits and veggies, herbs. Please mute your mic. Please mute your mic. Please mute your mic.
How do you mute?
How do you mute it? You find your mic there up there. You find it there somewhere and mute it. Thank you. You did. You must have. And in the meantime, I'll go through and I have muted all the mics. Okay. There we go. I took care of it for you. Okay. The mics are muted, so we won't get any surprising noises. Thanks for joining us here on Discoveries in Health. We're just enjoying some information about a delicious food called hummus. That you can add to just about everything, and the fact that it's great against allergies. Chickpeas is what they are, or garbanzo beans is another name for them, and they're high in antioxidants. They inspire you to eat healthier food. They help to balance your blood sugar levels. They can be a good substitute for unhealthy foods. They can help alleviate anemia. They help your bones grow stronger. They can help you lose weight. They help to prevent cancer and lower cholesterol. And they're good for your bone, muscle, skin, and blood health. And they help you to stay regular. We're talking about that simple dish called hummus. Hummus, that's high in fiber. And that is a little bit about hummus. Okay, I'm going to go back through here now, and since we have quite a few folks now in the room who have joined us for our second hour, I'm going to unmute the mics, and if anyone has a question, we are going to answer your question spontaneously, as we always do. So I'm starting to unmute the mics here, and please let me know if you have a question. Go ahead, and now's your chance to ask your question. All the mics are unmuted at the moment. Now I think they are. Go ahead. What is your question? Hello?
Hello, Dr. Truman.
Yes, hello. Where are you calling from?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I was wondering.
Tell me where you're from. Tell me where you're from so I can mute the other mics.
I am from Jacksonville, Texas.
Okay, I'm going to mute the other mics, and I'm going to take your questions, sir. Hold on while I do that so we don't have any echoes. All right, and I'm almost there. Okay, sir, please, what is your question?
About 10 years ago, I was diagnosed with a condition called ankylosing spondylitis.
Yes.
It's a condition of inflammation, and it originated in my sacroiliac joint. And I have digestive issues. The doctors, they want to try to tell me that I have a form of Crohn's disease and so on and so forth. And I receive a a small dose of what it is. It's a chemotherapy drug called Remicade.
Yes, I'm hearing you. I've lost you though now. I lost our caller. I don't know what happened to him. But the question the question was ankylosing spondylitis. So I'm going to go.
I got cut off, Dr. Truman. I'm sorry. I called right back.
Okay, very good. Okay, so please continue. You were talking about ankylosing spondylitis and inflammation and a medication. Please continue.
Yes, sir. Well, I'm on Remicade. I take Remicade every 7 weeks for the arthritis that this condition is giving me. I noticed that throughout some time, I got introduced to something called moringa, and I was on it for some time, and I changed my diet, and I noticed that it helped me. I really believe that I was on a road to a cure, and the problem was is that the diet that I was on, it was a no carb diet, and my job is really physical demanding. So the diet that I was on, it had me really weak, and I had to go back to eating things that I normally ate to keep up with the work demand. So if I could find a way to balance my diet or get more energy and you know stay off the carbs, and it's a lot of different things that I could talk to you about right now about the diet and what it has to do with ankylosing spondylitis and the arthritis and everything. But basically, I'm just right now I'm dealing with being on the medication because I'm not sure how I need to. I need a diet. I need a diet plan because I think it's the food that's making me ill. I think it's a food allergy, and I'm not an expert, but that's just what I think. You know.
All right, I understand what you're saying. So we're talking about ankylosing spondylitis. Let's take a look at it involves more than just treating symptoms, because natural cures and management strategies can help relieve the pain associated with the condition, including morning stiffness and back pain, but also function to reduce the progression of the condition. If you're struggling with pain associated with ankylosis, then it's suggested that home remedies like cod liver oil, vitamin D. Matter of fact, you can get these little drops called liquid sunshine. That's what I get my vitamin D every day. I take 5 drops of this right underneath my tongue first thing in the morning, called liquid sunshine. I get it from the folks at betterhealthherbs.com, betterhealthherbs.com in Albany, Oregon. Their phone number is 541-791-8400. That's 541-791-8400. That's where I get all. They manufacture most of the 14,000 natural remedies I've invented in the last 54 years. So, but when we got to deal with this, we talked about cod liver oil. We talked about vitamin D. We also need to make sure you're getting plenty of potassium. And then And then take a look at the herbalhealthreview.com website. I've given you 2 websites now. First one I gave you was betterhealthherbs.com, and that's where all the products are, where all the information about all kinds of health conditions is called herbalhealthreview.com. That's herbal, Herbal. The next word is health, Health. And the last word is review, Review. Herbalhealthreview.com. Herbalhealthreview.com. And when you go there, click on Common Conditions. And right at the very top of Common Conditions, you're going to see a bunch of reports. And it's going to say, make lifestyle changes. That's going to give you some dietary suggestions and ideas about lifestyle changes. And it's going to mention also products like turmeric to reduce inflammation. And then there are a lot of things that we can do to relieve the stiffness and the soreness and the pain. There is also a product called, besides turmeric, which you can get as a liquid, a capsule, or as a powder. So that's turmeric, Turmeric. Now, and the liquid, of course, is a concentrate extract, and by taking that, you can take plenty of that, and it will reduce inflammation and pain. It also crosses the blood-brain barrier and makes you smarter. That's right, I said that. It makes you smarter, and that's turmeric. Now, there are lots of things for inflammation, though, besides the turmeric, which you can take freely, and plenty of it, to reduce inflammation. And you want to make sure that you're getting lots of natural oils in your diet, the flaxseed oil and so forth. We need to lubricate the body from the inside out. We need to make sure you're getting making lifestyle changes. And as you go down through that making lifestyle changes report that gives you some dietary suggestions and ideas, it also starts talking about turmeric and joint care. And the joint care is going to relieve a lot of pain. And then there's things like MSM, methylsulfonylmethane. Now that powder looks like sugar, but when you get it up to the 3 tablespoon dose periodically, that's a periodic dose when you're taking 1 dose in the morning, 1 dose in the afternoon, and 1 dose in the evening. That's a periodic dose. And when you're taking MSM powder and you're taking it by the heaping tablespoon 3 times a day, that keeps your cells young and permeable. So that keeps the cells young and moist. Every cell in your body. Your skin gets younger looking. You don't dry up and shrivel up and become an old person, that's all shriveled up. You become an old person with nice skin. And when you use high doses of MSM, that's what they give to expensive racehorses so that they can race them longer, harder, faster, and they recover from their workouts much faster, and sorenesses and so forth. So there's lots of things that we can do, but that should answer your question, as a good starting point. And 2 excellent places that are going to give you some answers and products. Because a lot of times people will talk about what the answer is, but then where do you find the product? Well, the answers are on herbalhealthreview.com. There's over 100 videos there. There is just a tremendous amount of information. There are reports on just about everything you can imagine. This video, there will be a video with all this information that will be posted up on YouTube and be available on herbalhealthreview.com. It'll be part of the over 100 videos that are available on herbalhealthreview.com. However, all of the products that are listed on herbalhealthreview.com, all of those products take you over to, you click on the product, it takes you over to betterhealthherbs.com. So you can look at the product, and if you're looking at a product and it's got several sizes and you're not sure what size or whether it's really the right thing or whether it's really going to work for you, get the small size. Start with it, give it a good try, and you'll find that these are products that are from a not-for-profit. This is 3 generations of herbalists that are making these products. These are products that I invented and that my daughter Crystal and I put together, and that our granddaughter, my granddaughter, Brittany, and she's the manufacturer. So it's a family, not for profit. Nobody's made any money. We all lost every penny we ever had, but putting it into this to help people. But when you found something that really works and really helps people, you have to do it. And it's a labor of love.